How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another My Cube or Vinny video. Thank you for tuning in today. We are out here in the backyard of my new home. Sorry if there's some car noise in the background, but I think the lav mic should be good. Yeah, I just wanted to make this video for you guys because the other day I turned 30 years old. And it's been getting me thinking just a lot about my life up until this point, everything I've done, everything I still want to do. I've also thought a lot about everything I've learned up until this point. And there are two things in my life that I've done the longest. Skateboarding, which I've done for 24 years now, and cubing for 16 years now. Wow, that's crazy. So I figured I would make this video just to share with you guys what I've learned in those 16 years, and maybe you can take it and apply it to your own cubing or build off it. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just wanted to make this video for you guys just to share what I've learned. Before we get into the things I've learned, I just want to rude. All right, before we get into the things that I've learned, I just wanted to give a huge thank you to all of you guys that have subscribed to the channel in the last 2 months. The growth on this channel has been insane. I know I say this in all my videos, but I just want to thank all of you guys from the bottom of my heart. This has been a dream of mine since I was a kid, and this is the first time in a long time that I have felt somewhat close to achieving this dream, and it's all because of you guys. Also, the YouTube algorithm threw me a bone, but also you guys really like the videos and you guys are showing so much support. It means a lot to me. If you are new, please drop a sub, please leave a like, because this channel will grow. I know it will. I have so many cool ideas for you guys. I'm so excited to share them all. Ooh, I can't wait. It's gonna be a good year. All right, back to the video. So one of the biggest things that I've learned in my 16 years as a cuber is it's the cuber, not the cube. So what I mean is hardware alone won't improve your times. Of course, the cube is important. Like, you want a cube that feels good for you, but I got stuck in the mindset early on that you need the newest cube to get faster times. As hardware progressed, yeah, my times did get faster, but then eventually I plateaued because the hardware alone wasn't making a difference. So I think what's more important is to get a cube that fits to your turning style and just get really comfortable on that cube, and eventually you can break times with it, and then when you need to move on to something else, get a new cube. All right, number two, I think a lot of you guys will agree with this one. It's that most people set limits on themselves. When I started cubing, one of the reasons I started cubing was because I wanted to do something that not many people can say they've done. I wanted to be unique, different, and I wanted to challenge myself with something new and difficult. And everyone I meet when I'm solving in public, they always say, oh, I could never do that. Oh, you must be so smart. Oh, I'm not smart enough to do that. And it drives me crazy when I hear that, because I also at one point didn't know how to do it. I didn't want to set limits on myself, but a lot of people that I run into, they set limits on themselves. And I feel like that's a very common thing with people. They set limits on themselves so that they don't have to try new things and, I don't know, risk being a failure. I don't really know. I'm sure a lot of you guys agree with that. It's just something that kind of drives me crazy. Yeah, I wish more people would believe in themselves, and I think the world would be a much better place for it. Anyone can solve a Rubik's Cube. You don't have to be a genius. You just have to be determined, and you have to want it bad enough. The third thing I've learned is that I can apply the skills I've learned from cubing to most things in life. So what I mean by that is, like practice, for example, when you practice new algorithms or practice new techniques, you have to do it over and over and over and over again. And that's something that you could do with life too. That applies to everything. Practice. If you want to get good at guitar, you just have to play a lot and you have to learn new things. If you want to be better at drawing, you just have to draw. You have to do the thing you want to get good at. Cubing was also a really good way to set goals. And I think for me, setting goals has been very important because, my mind is all over the place. So if I can hone in on certain things that I want to accomplish, like let's say, oh, I want to get a sub 3 average on 6x6. It's the same thing in life. I want to have a new job by next year. Oh, I want to make $2,000 a month, whatever it is. I can set these goals myself, and I know that there are things I can do to reach them. Okay, I like this one. Solving fast isn't the most important thing. What's more important is your personality and your connection to others in the community, and your ability to spread interest in the cube. This one's huge. When I look at some sponsored cubers, yeah, there's obviously gonna be those that are 5-second average solvers, but there's also cubers that you know, they average like 13, 14, 15 seconds. And a lot of those cubers just have really big personalities, or, you know, they're not the fastest solver, but I think because they have a good personality and they can share their knowledge and share product reviews and just, I don't know, just they're marketables, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think being fast alone, yeah, it can get you far in cubing, but I think if you are fast and you have a really good personality, I think that is super important in cubing. And that's something that I'm learning too. Like, I'm not the fastest solver, but I want to make these videos being my genuine, authentic self. So you guys like the videos. Oh, this one's interesting. I'm afraid to innovate. I'm afraid to innovate because I'm afraid I will get my ideas stolen. Get no credit for my hard work, or should I just be okay with donating my knowledge to the community to make the sport better? I think of Chris Tran when I think about this thing I've learned. Chris Tran, I don't know if you guys know who that is. He basically pioneered magnets and speed cubes. He was the one that was like testing, designing, prototyping all these different puzzles. Because of his work, it ended up literally becoming a thing. Like, every cube has magnets. If a cube doesn't have magnets, it's not considered viable anymore. And there was a time when that was not a thing, and if it wasn't for Chris, maybe it would have maybe come eventually, but maybe not as soon as it did. But I wonder whatever happened to Chris. Like, what's he up to now? I'm sure he's doing some adult stuff. Maybe he's doing some engineering. Really smart guy. But yeah, I feel like he put all that work into that, and then it's like, bam, everyone just took his idea and ran with it. I'm sitting on quite a few ideas of products I want to design, of things I want to do, and I'm scared to share them with the world because I don't want these Chinese speed cubing companies to rip off my idea. And it is strange because all puzzles that we use, they're all knockoffs of the original Rubik's Cube. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like, I feel like none of us really care about that. Should I care if these companies steal my idea? I don't know. When you put so much hard work into something, you're scared to share it. I've been sitting on this idea I have since 2016. And I honestly wish I released this idea sooner because I think it would have changed cubing. But I've also learned that I need to not be afraid to innovate. I need to share these ideas because they will make cubing better. And I think a lot of the fear is coming from a selfish place. I don't want to be selfish and hoard these ideas I have. I want to share them with all of you guys. So that's something that I want to work toward this year. Okay, this one's cool. I think a sub-3 single will happen sooner than we think. And I think a sub-4 average is inevitable at this point. But I think eventually there will come a time where 3x3 records just incrementally get faster, maybe a 100th of a second each time, because it's gonna eventually just get so fast that it will hit a brick wall. But I know that there will be new records being broken soon as these younger cubers just continue to get better and better. All right, the next thing I've learned is that I've met so many people through cubing and it's changed my life. I've met a lot of great people. I guess it goes with everything. Like, there's always good people out there in every community, but cubing in general, at least for me, it contains a lot of people similar to me. You know, when I was growing up, I was different. I didn't fit in very well. I preferred to do things on my own. And I think speed cubing attracts a lot of the same people like that. And I think that's beautiful. I think a lot of the people I've met have been really smart and really creative people, and cubing has given them a way to express their true selves and not be afraid of being judged by others. I think that's beautiful, and I'm hoping as I continue this YouTube journey with you guys that I can just continue to meet even more awesome cubers, many more cubers. Yeah, I'm super excited for the future. All right, cubing will help you get through tough times. This one is, I'm sure, one a lot of you guys can relate to. Speed cubing is a hobby, of course, but it's also something that you could put your time, effort, and energy into, and that is a really good distraction from a lot of the background noise that life has. I'm sure a lot of my viewers are younger. I'm gonna say probably like between ages 8 to 16. I know you probably hear a lot from adults that, oh, life is hard, life's not fair, blah, blah. But when you guys get to that age, you'll realize that there are a lot of things in life that will bring you down. There are a lot of things that are really upsetting, and it's a slog to just keep going sometimes, and it gets hard. There have been times where I've wanted to give up and just quit and just run away and live in the woods. And whenever I'm feeling those feelings, cubing has always been there to help me. It's just been a fun thing to just put my intention into and just forget about everything else in a healthy way. Instead of doom scrolling, I could just solve and just practice and get better. I know I said this in the Q&A video, but the Speedcubing Save My Life video is going to be coming soon. That's a big project I'm working on. But yeah, in that video I talk about how cubing got me through the toughest times of my life. All right, number 9, growing up is hard. I think this one a lot of you guys can relate to, I'm sure. Growing up is not easy. You know, going through puberty and becoming an adult, your body changing, your mind changing, it's really hard, you know, and I think a lot of adults forget that. They forget that they were once kids and they had to go through all that stuff, but I've never forgotten. I know how hard being a kid is, and I work with kids as my main job. I teach guitar to kids. I do rock climbing summer camps with kids. That's pretty much been my life for the past 3 years, and I've seen just about everything. And growing up is really hard, especially in cubing. As a lot of adults, I'm sure know, you get to a certain age where a lot of your friends will drop off just because life happens. You know, you have to focus on school, you have to focus on life. Maybe your friends have kids, they gotta be parents. It's been really hard to try to find time to make these videos, but I mean, yeah, life happens, and sometimes you just have to deal with things as they come, and cubing sometimes gets in the way of those things. But I think there's a part of every one of us where there's still that kid inside of us that just wants to play and just have fun. And for me, that's what like cubing is. It's one of my outlets to have fun and just, I don't know, it's just like my toy I like to play with. I don't have any adult cuber friends really, except Graham and maybe like a couple people I've met at comps, but it's very, very low. I pretty much cube by myself 99.99999% of the time. I think this is the last thing I'll share, at least until maybe next time if I want to make a part 2. Get with the times or get left behind. This is something that I'm learning in all aspects of life, but especially with cubing. I'm just so nostalgic with how I grew up with cubing and how technology was when I was just starting out. I almost have like a soft spot for that a lot of newer cubers don't have. And it almost makes me sad that cubing technology has progressed to such a point where we'll never have like black cubes again. You know, it bums me out a little bit, but I'm also learning that you have to change, you have to adapt, or you will become a fossil. Yeah, and I don't want to be a fossil. I want to push forward, and I want to progress the passion that is cubing, and I want to be involved. I don't want to be looking from the outside in or stuck in my box. I hope that makes sense for you guys. There's so much change that's taken place over the last couple of years alone, and now that I'm finally getting back into it more seriously, it's amazing how much I've missed out on and how much I still have left to catch up on. I basically missed out from 2018 to 2024. The only cube I had in that time was like a YJMGC cubes and the X-Man Tornado. That's it. That's all I got to experience. So it just goes to show like I am behind the times and I need to catch up a little bit. All right, I think that's all I got for you guys. I hope this was a fun video and I hope you learned something and could take something away. To all my younger cubers out there, just keep doing what you love and just keep living your life, and cubing will get you through any tough times you might be experiencing now or will experience in the future. Don't give up the passion, just keep going no matter what anyone says. And to all my adult cubers out there, have hope, because there are other cubers out there. Hopefully we can all come together and be cubing buddies or something, I don't know. But yeah, to all my adult cubers, keep cubing also, because don't give up on the thing you love the most, like so many people have. All right, cool. I'm 30, hell yeah. All right guys, well thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked the video. I'll see you next time. Bye.